trying to bring these two worlds together. Um, and and a lot of it, Paula, was I had to reimagine many things. So, for example, my paternal grandfather is white and my paternal grandmother is black. Not so sure exactly how they met. It, I I don't think they bumped into each other at the library, and my
No.
grandmother my grandmother dropped a book and he picked it up, and
Yeah.
and it was love at first sight. I honestly I don't know. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, when he came to my dad, he spoke very fondly about his parents,
Yeah.
but they were very abstract. They never really said things like and I never had the courage to ask them, how did they meet? So
Yeah.
how did this white Southern Rhodesian man meet with this black Southern Rhodesian woman? Like,
Yeah.
how did they get together? Back in the 1940s. I had to do some.
Yeah.
I had to reimagine all of that. Now, when I looked at my black African ancestry, there's a lot of gaps and holes. Now, so I know that we from Atipi land we do have ancestry that comes all the way from KwaZulu Natal,
Okay.
but specifically dates, where, and all that stuff, the trail was very, very cold. In as much as I did travel to rural KwaZulu Natal and all of that, so I had to just imagine this character who was my maternal great grandfather. I think it should be the fourth the fourth great grandfather. So I had to place him at a at a a factual historical juncture in history. So for sure there was King Mzilikazi, who at the time was a general in King Shaga's army. So these were actual real historical figures. But I
Yes.
had to kind of place this ancestor right there
There, right?
uh,
Yeah.
as a blacksmith. So he's in between. He's not in the nobility, but he's somewhere. He's an artisan. So all of that. Okay, so I had to plant this character, and so I had to go with this character. Was as soon as I planted him, I said, okay, this person's descendants are going to intermix with my white ancestors. Now, fortunately, when it comes to my white ancestry, they were shipping records, so I can
Okay.
actually
Yes.
find. I know the name of the ship,
Yes.
so I know that. So the ship left in 1820, February the 12th, and it arrived at Table Bay on May the 2nd. And I know even the community where they moved to. So they moved to Beaufort West, right?
Yeah.
So on the European side of my ancestry, the records are pretty good. But when it came to my Black African side, uh, it was a little bit of touch and go. But
Yes.
somehow I kind of and that's the beauty of fiction, is that at least so I was able to kind of like I had to put all that together, and but in so doing I did suffer 3 years of writer's block.
Yeah. Wow.
My creativity was stifled. But part of
Okay.
that was moving to Nunavut. So I was
Okay.
living in Mississauga, Ontario, and then in 2014, a job opportunity came up, which I could not resist, and I came up here
Okay.
to Nunavut. So in 2017, I started writing in earnest. I had financial resources. I could
Yes.
I could buy books, and
Yes.
so I started making friends with some Rhodesian associations, uh,
Yes.
and asking for books about the Rhodesian the Rhodesian Civil War, and all of that. So I started doing a lot of my research around that time,
Research.
and then I was able to write. But then I was hit by writer's block again in 2020. Again, so I was working on my master's degree.
Okay.
So again, okay, I was holding down a full-time job,
Yeah.
doing this master's degree to
Yeah.
for my own professional development. So I
Yeah.
put my writing to the back burner. But in 2021, I went back to the drawing board and I just started writing, and I just never stopped. Sometimes I was writing 8 to 9 hours a day.
Wow.
I would wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with some thoughts, and I would just
Yes.
get down
Start
to it
going
and
again.
just
Right.
get onto my laptop and
Yeah.
just write, write, write.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me, if you're going to write a book, just write. Don't overthink it. just write, write, and write. You'll always have a chance to come back to it and maybe collect your thoughts and correct certain things. But at that point in time, if you have that flow of creativity, you just want to just try to run with it.